Breaking news. Finally, the list of 15 celebrities' names who attended Diddy's wild parties is shared to the public to witness. Well, if you don't know this, a new footage just dropped, and it's got some of the biggest names in Hollywood completely shaken after rumors of their participation in Diddy's secretive parties. This has become like a real-life Epstein scandal. These celebs were supposedly filmed without their knowledge, and now the tapes are out showing things that could ruin careers forever. As Diddy's in jail, his bail denied, and his legal team's desperate to get him out. But the judge says there's too much risk he might go after witnesses to protect himself. And get this too, Cassie Diddy's ex is at the center of it all. She's filed lawsuits claiming he forced her into these situations while he filmed it all. Other women are coming forward too. And now more celebrities are getting dragged into the mess. It's getting ugly, and people are so desperate to discover the names of these 15 celebrities who are named in this list.
Different than when it was 2016. You know, the game has been elevated.
That's right, we're all here for the freak off.
We here together, and we're going to keep staying together. We getting tighter.
Yeah, we're tight. We'll be tight after tonight.
We stand, and ain't nothing else. To us, black excellence.
Yeah. Big meal, get the baby oil. I'm done first.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, and go into rehab. Had to ask God for His mercy and grace. I'm so sorry.
Just when we thought the situation with Diddy bending other men over couldn't get worse, the internet went into a frenzy yet again. After the game got exposed as being one of Diddy's boy toys, it turns out Diddy has allegedly been his secret sugar daddy for over a decade now. In return for everything Diddy does for him, the game allegedly bends over and lets Diddy have his way with him whenever he likes. And get this. After all this was revealed, Rick Ross also stepped into the conversation and clowned the game for letting Diddy play him like that. What makes this even more disturbing is that Rick was one of the first people to call Diddy out for sexually assaulting men and making them bend over for opportunities in Hollywood. So the fact that he's now clowning the game makes people think Rick knew about the game and Diddy's relationship for a long time, but kept it quiet until everyone else caught on. At this point, the entire industry feels like it needs a reset, because everyone seems to have known what was going on the whole time. Now, for those of you who don't know, the game and Rick Ross have been feuding for a few days. After the game released a diss track, Freeway's Revenge, taking shots at Rick unprovoked, many people initially thought he did this to show support for Drake, since Rick Ross has been siding with Drake during their ongoing feud. But that excuse didn't make sense to people, because Rick has never said anything shady about the game, not even once. If it was really about Drake, it would have made more sense for the game to go after Kendrick, not Rick Ross. In the diss track, the game accused Rick of being on Ozempic and getting golden showers from his baby mama Tia Kemp. He rapped, "You ate 12 lemon pepper wings from a heart attack. Academics get this Ninja Ozark starter pack. Kiss and hit the room, stream on," talking about his encounter with King Kong. "This ain't the Kendrick beef, my Drake sing songs, shots ring out, neighbor better have his ring on, hip-hop and pills, they messing with his brain. Seizures off the lean, Balenciaga shorts got the poop stains. Your baby mama told me you like to get peed on." Rick Ross, on the other hand, did not take this diss track seriously at all and trolled the game in a series of videos he posted to his Instagram. He was so unserious that at one point, Rick Ross even asked the game to join him in an ice skating competition. This really enraged the game even more, so he went on Instagram and wrote a 5,000-word essay about how Rick is apparently scared of him. Apart from people being confused about why the game was channeling so much energy into dissing Rick, some also speculated that the real reason Rick Ross doesn't respect the game enough to respond properly is because he knows about the game allegedly bending over for Diddy. So, Rick Ross knows the game isn't the tough guy he tries so hard to portray. You see, Rick Ross, Diddy, and The Game actually worked on a collaboration back in 2014 called Dog Who. After that, both Rick Ross and The Game were known to have close relationships with Diddy, but they were two very different kinds of relationships. Rick Ross was strictly Diddy's friend, and they were seen hanging out a lot. But The Game, on the other hand, became more like Diddy's sugar baby. Diddy practically took care of him, flying him out to foreign countries, taking him on shopping sprees, and bringing him along to his infamous freakout parties. In fact, we wouldn't have known about any of this if The Game himself didn't spill the tea during his 2022 sit-down interview on Drink Champs. Apparently, Diddy came knocking on his door with the offer to team up on an album. However, for nearly 2 years, all they did was hop from one exotic location to the next, living it up in style. And get this, Diddy wasn't holding back on the gifts either. He showered The Game with all sorts of lavish goodies like fancy watches and blinged-out chains. Then earlier this year, The Game stopped by Vlad TV for another chat. Right after those crazy allegations about Diddy resurfaced, he brought up the whole saga of spending 2 years with Diddy. Except this time, he revealed that instead of working on music as planned, he and Diddy just partied for 2 years straight. And where were they doing all this partying, you might ask? Atlanta, of all places. Once this started going viral, people couldn't help but wonder if The Game was also getting his cheeks clapped by Diddy. Because, if y'all remember, 50 Cent put Diddy on blast years ago for trying to make him his boy toy after Diddy offered to take him shopping. 50 said he was confused at the time because this is the kind of offer men usually make to women they're romantically interested in, not another man who's supposed to be a work buddy. 50 and Diddy weren't even friends like that to begin with, so the offer was hella weird, and 50 immediately knew what Diddy was trying to do. But that's not all. In another Vlad TV interview shortly after his collaboration with Diddy and Rick Ross, The Game revealed even more interesting details. When asked if he's ever worked with any down-low rappers, he said yes, and went on to talk about how some of these rappers claim to like women, but are actually sleeping with men unprotected and spreading STDs. Now, when it comes to Rick Ross knowing about Diddy and The Game, he didn't explicitly mention The Game by name, but he did hint at it in his 2009 song Magnificent, where he rapped, "The game never changed. Money, still a focal, but it's tied to the game like Puffy did, total." This whole situation is messed up and shows the dark side of the industry that these rappers are involved in. As usual, people have their own thoughts. One person said 50 turned down the shopping sprees, but obviously The Game did not. We all know what comes with those shopping sprees. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about The Game being Diddy's boy toy? And how do you feel about Rick Ross clowning him for it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.